What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draft and Stash for all your NBA and, more importantly, all of that Memphis Grizzlies news. It has been a while, but as you can see, Frank moved, and I've just been lazy. So on today's episode, we're finally going to get into grading the offseason of the NBA. We're going to go team by team, and then spend some time with the Grizzlies to kind of explain what they're doing. But before that, let's hit that intro.
Morant with a running start. Oh my goodness!
All right, finally back, man. It's been, I think, like at least like 3 months now.
Well, yeah, just about long, I think.
It's close. Yeah, I think we didn't have beards back then. It's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, they've been growing that long, and this is all we've got to show for it.
It does look. It's weird now that your background is just like a corner. Like it used to be, at least have like a window and some stuff or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna get a little bit of a
it's like a closet or something
for the viewers here soon. It's just kind of a sparse corner in my new room here.
Nice, man. So I was gonna message Jarrett Culver behind me, dude, but his Twitter handle thing still says a part of the Timberwolves. So I was like, "Fuck that! How dare you!" All right, guys, so let's just jump right into it. Dallas Mavericks C+. I think that might be too high. Dallas had a pretty bad offseason. They add Reggie Bullock, who is my dude. Moses Brown, Sterling Brown. Did they change coaches, which is weird? Did they bring back Tim Hardaway, which is good, and Boban, okay. I mean, like fans like him, but he's pretty antiquated. Luka gets a massive extension, and then they lose Josh Richardson, Nico, and their coach. So I don't know. I mean, I know this is not what Luka had in mind of going into this offseason. They basically bring back the same team, and maybe Reggie fits better than Josh.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking with the Bullock signing. Did he come through in signing or trade?
I think it was like a free agent signing, right?
Okay, yeah, signing. Excuse me. He's more of a solid. He knows his role. He's a 3-and-D guy. Josh Richardson, he had his time in Philly where he was kind of flirting with. Is he a third type guy? Borderline star type player.
Really looked good for Miami, and he went to Philly, and he just has not been the same dude.
Yeah,
man.
He has not been the same since, man. Sir. Oh yeah, excuse me. In Miami, he went to Philly, did not look the same. Went to the Mavs, just has not really been that guy. And I think having a guy like Bullock who's proven, I mean, excellent 3-point shooting percentage. He's a great defender. Yeah, that's the kind of guy that they need on that team surrounding Doncic. So I
guess the truth just comes down to Jason Kidd.
The rest, I don't know. It's just sort of a okay off season. I think they're kind of treading water here, and they're stacking up the big men, like this article mentioned. So I feel like they're going to pull off another trade at some point.
Denver Nuggets get a B. Jeff Green has now played for half the league as he moves on from the Nets to the Denver Nuggets. And they draft Bones Highland, who is Chip's dude. They bring back Will Barton, JaMychal Green, and Austin Rivers, who Austin Rivers kind of found like a reemergence and like resurgence in Denver. They lose JaVale McGee. It is what it is. I feel like a B is too high here because – I mean, what does Jeff Green really bring? I mean, he's older at this point. He's never really the worst guy, never really the best guy on the court. He's so average at this point. I guess maybe they get a B for bringing back Will Barton, maybe.
Yeah, and it feels like more of a B by way of not having anything overwhelmingly negative happen. Gotcha. It's just sort of like they made a couple minor additions in Jeff Green and then Bones Highland who could pan out, but bringing back Barton's probably the biggest deal of this offseason.
Yeah, and he's only getting paid $15 a year, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy that I didn't realize he was as old as he was. He played here in Memphis so long ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, what is it? He's got to be
31, I think.
31, yeah. Okay. That first overall
I
pick.
love what the Warriors did this offseason. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I would give them an A+. I mean, they land a potential future superstar in Jonathan Kuminga, a chance to roll the dice there. They land pretty much a safe 3-and-D guy for the next 10 years in Moses Moody. They go and get Otto Porter Jr., who's like a pretty solid guy on the wings. They are bringing back Klay Thompson. I just think there's this great mixture because even if you're talking about James Wiseman as well, and like Jordan Poole. I mean, I think that they have like a really good mixture of young guys and vets to like help them transition. I hate and love what's going on in Golden State.
It just kind of feels like the rich finally getting, after a couple seasons, they're getting back to what they were doing. Yeah. But I like who they brought in. I don't think anybody's like extraordinary outside of the draft. I thought they really nailed the draft with Kuminga and Moody. I think we all loved those players, you, me, and Chip, going into the draft. We were kind of crossing our fingers when Moody was available that the Bears would take him. But, he's going to be great. 3-and-D guy, like you said. He'll come in right away, and the article mentions that he's going to have time to acclimate himself right away to the NBA game with layout. So the other things, the signings, arrivals, new arrivals, Otto Porter, big fan. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically, you lose Oubre, and Otto Porter probably fits better.
Yeah,
so
I think he fits better. Health is a big concern with him, as it has been for 4 seasons or so now. He's going to miss some games. It just depends on how many and if he'll be available in the playoffs. But I think, by and large, even with the health concerns, he's a good 3-and-D guy.
This honestly feels a lot like in the 90s when Boston got like Len Bias, and he was supposed to be the next star to like help them transition, and then unfortunately, he died and everything or whatever, and so Boston then ended up going into this like tailspin where all other guys got too old, and like it took them basically like until like Paul Pierce and like Antoine Walker kind of took over in like the late 90s or whatever. So I think that they're primed in a lot of good spots. Houston Rockets get a B with their massive draft. Basically, they signed Daniel Tice. They of course draft the awesomely good-looking player in Jalen Green. In terms of like he's gonna he looked pretty good in the summer league. He showed everything and then some. And then like Alperen Sengun looked pretty solid. Josh Christopher had some moments. Usman Garuba didn't really get a lot of playing time, but he has a lot of potential. And then they lose nobody basically. So I don't know how good they'll be, but I agree that like a B is very solid here.
Yeah, I think I'd even trend more towards an A for them.
Maybe
they nailed that draft, man. We were sitting in awe as the picks came rolling through for them.
Yeah.
The later picks were what surprised me.
Yeah.
Getting Sengun and then Christopher so late in the draft. I mean, Sengun around 15, I think, right? But getting Christopher late and him looking so good in the summer league, kind of confirming that. Yeah, I think he's NBA ready. That was a good move for them, man.
Well, they traded up and basically just gave away like a future first-round pick to move into this draft at 16, which I'm mad that the Grizzlies didn't also do. But like so and that's all that they got Alperen, and then they took Josh Christopher at 23, I think, and then Garuba at 24. Just
I hate Daniel Tice because he kept Robert Williams on the bench all last year on the Celtics, but I think he could be a solid option for them. Like they say defensively in the article, they need that next to Christian Wood. So
true. Yeah.
Good signing.
I would love for somebody to explain to me how the Clippers have an A-.
I saw this and I shrieked.
Like they add Eric Bledsoe. Okay. They add Just Winslow. Okay. Keon Johnson. He's a rookie, and Jason Preston. And then they bring back, obviously Kawhi Leonard, but he's hurt. Reggie Jackson comes back, and old ass Nick Batum comes back.
I like re-signing Nick Batum, but yeah, he's old.
This is a B, if anything. I mean, at best. I mean, like an A- is expecting that all that Bledsoe and Justice are going to give them their maxed out potentials that they're supposed to be or something. Which okay,
they're kind of betting that Bledsoe is going to be an upgrade over Beverly and Rondo, and I'm not.
I don't see that.
Sure about that. Even as a Bledsoe fan, he's just not been that great the past couple of years.
And people have been hoping that Justice will be good for since he was drafted. So
we'll see on that. I think that was an okay flyer for them to take. He's going to have the potential to play there. So,
but I mean, there's a reason that they got him for the vet minimum, because I don't know. It's just silly to me to give them an A-. I don't. Ugh, it's just awful. And then
like a B, honestly.
and then the Lakers get a B+. I feel like whoever wrote this likes the Clippers, hates the Lakers.
They're LA Clippers fans.
Yeah, I mean, like, how do you say that? Like, adding Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Carmelo Anthony, Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore, and Rajon Rondo is only a B+. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Did they lose Kyle Kuzma, who was doing nothing for them? They lose KCP, who was doing nothing for them. Montrez was completely misused there. Alex Caruso is a loss. Honor Drummond doesn't matter. Markieff Morris at times looked really good, and then Schroeder just never really fit in there. This is the most NBA 2K rebuild I've ever seen. You know, you go out there and just sign a bunch of like random vets to just like fill out your team because you've overpaid for your top 3 guys. You know,
when they were doing the trade finder, they clearly filtered by age and sorted by oldest.
We'll take them. I kind of love Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James having like a swan song together. You know, I like that. They've been playing, since 2003 together, and they were friends when they came in, and maybe they get to win a title together here at the end. Just kind of cool.
2/3 of the banana boat, baby. I like this offseason. I think a B+ is accurate. I just would lower the Clippers score to make it less than this because I like it more.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Alex Caruso in Chicago, to see him fail. Because he has such like he's like him, Larry Nance, Kyle, all these guys have like a Laker bubble, and
he's gonna be a better Satoransky, man. He's gonna be good there.
Satoransky,
he's gonna be an athletic Satoransky, just playmaking. The fans are gonna love him.
All right, do you want to get into the Grizzlies now or wait till the end?
I'll leave that up to you. I'm down.
Let's just do it now. C+, I don't know. I mean, I guess, on paper, maybe that sounds right. I think that you have to look at what they're doing also, right? So you trade away Jonas and you get back Adams and 2 first-round picks. And then you trade some bench dudes to get Patrick Beverley, and you trade him to go get Honcho, Herman Gomez, and Jarrett Culver. I don't know. I think Jonas, people on the outside of Memphis think that Jonas's value was much more than it was here. Grayson Allen, who cares? Justice, who cares? I don't know. Maybe a C+ is okay. I don't know. What do you think?
I'd be okay with the C+, but it's just because this is so contingent on what happens in the future to grade this offseason. Unlike a lot of these guys where a lot of these offseason grades are kind of based on dudes that are commodities that are established in the NBA. So you know what they're going to bring to that team. It's like, we hope Culver pans out. Shout out to your background.
Yeah.
Jared Culver? If he does, awesome. This is almost worth the Valanciunas trade by itself, swapping him for a rotation piece that could be a part of the building blocks of the future. But also Zaire Williams, that's a big question mark that could pan out. The one thing that we keep coming back to, we're not so sure Steven Adams is a drastic downgrade from Valanciunas like people are saying. Yeah. Obviously, in terms of stats, he is. If you look at the stats, one dude's dropping 20 and 20 on random nights. Steven Adams is averaging 9 points a game.
You know what, man? It could also be like, for all of you like older Grizzlies fans, when we traded away Rudy Gay and got Tayshaun Prince, it was, Tayshaun clearly didn't have the same ability, but he fit so much better that it allowed everybody else to grow. Yeah. I think adding Adams could have that effect on, Jaren Jackson and like other guys or whatever. So just because his talent might not be as good does not mean that the team cannot get better. Yeah. And even then, dude, okay, so they don't need Zaire to be good this year. They don't need Jarrett Culver to be good this year. They have so much damn depth. They can literally take the number 10 pick in this draft and let him sit on the bench the entire year and just let him learn behind Kyle Anderson, Desmond May, and Dylan Brooks and all these guys or whatever and stuff. It's so C+, whatever. I just I don't see us being any worse than we were last year. I think we'll be right back at the 9 seed in a play-in game around 40 or 42 wins or whatever, like Jaren Jackson's hopefully going to look good. I'm okay with it.
I think that's really what they're betting on, is just their process, what they've been building up. They're betting on Jaren, they're betting on Ja. And I think, hey, man, I think it's going to pan out.
Minnesota gets a C-. Is that too high?
Man, I don't want to pile on Minnesota fans at this point, man. I really don't. Having your big signing be Taurean Prince,
Fuck.
and then like trading for Patrick Beverley, okay, like those are both. I like both of those guys for their on-court product. I don't like Beverley, but Prince is a good young player. How old is Prince at this point? I feel like he's been in the league for a good 5 or 6 years now.
He got drafted by Atlanta, I think 5 years ago.
He's one of those guys that you keep expecting to break out if given the chance, but it's like he's not really been given the chance.
They better hope that Anthony Edwards is a star next year.
Dude was really good at times last year.
Yeah, no, he's great. I would, if I was them, I would clearly build around him and not Towns or fucking D'Angelo Russell. But I don't know how much that they can do there because clearly nobody wants to go play there. So it's like maybe they make a trade for Ben Simmons or something. Hell, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yes, the Pelicans might have the worst grade here, D+, and I think that is completely fair. Actually, they add Jonas Valanciunas, who somehow ESPN's turning him into some kind of long ball threat.
He's Hakeem Olajuwon.
They added Dante Graham. Okay, Garrett Temple's old. Thomas Satoransky, who I do not think is good. And they changed coaches again. But they also brought back Josh Hart. But they lose Lonzo Ball, Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, James Johnson, and Stan Van Gundy. I think this could be the start of Zion asking to be out. What do you think?
I don't want to put that pressure on this franchise, man, but this is just sort of a very meh offseason, if not somewhat of a step back, honestly.
Yeah.
I love Valanciunas, man. I don't know how he's going to fit next to Zion. They'll find a way, but he's not the kind of guy that you're expecting them to go into this offseason and go grab. You thought he was the start of the offseason. You know?
But they made a really bold attempt to clear up some cap space, thinking that they could get a guy like Kyle Lowry or something. Yeah. And of course, Kyle Lowry already had a deal under the table with the Heat. So that was never going to be a thing. And then they lose Lonzo and they bring in,
Devontae Graham,
Satoransky, get the fuck out of here.
Both of those guys together aren't as good as Lonzo Ball. I mean, and I'm not even the biggest Ball fan, but
and not only that,
Chicago was excellent. So
the power rankings came out and they have the Grizzlies, I think, at 16. And the Pels were 22 or 23. And then the Pelicans fans were mad about that. It's y'all haven't won anything. I mean, y'all had multiple all-stars on this team while the Grizzlies continued to get overlooked, and that doesn't amount to shit, so it's clearly Zion can't do it by himself. Him and Ingram, for whatever reason, do not fit to currently together. And if Lonzo Ball, who's a pass first guard who shoots threes, can't make this team work, what the hell is Thomas Satoransky going to do? So
and then just the cherry on top of all this, man, what is this, his third or fourth head coach in 3 years?
Yeah.
Zion?
And it's if they thought that Steven Adams got in the way of Zion, what do you think Jonas is going to do? He never leaves the damn paint, So I don't know what's going on down there, man.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a lot of direction. I don't know. I don't think Zion's necessarily on the way out, but they definitely need to have some momentum start to build up soon.
OKC shockingly gets a C-, and I kind of agree because they didn't do anything. They add Josh Giddey, and he gets hurt the first game of Summer League, so we don't get to see him do anything. They bring in basically Derek Favors' contract. They draft Trey Mann and Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who I like Robinson Earl. And Mike Muscala, who cares? They extend Shai Gilgeous, which is very smart of them because he's awesome. They're still in that limbo phase that you don't really know what's going on with them, and they're like the Grizzlies where they're just putting pieces in place, but I feel like they're 2 steps behind us now at this point, and how they continue to amass picks, but once again, like Boston a few years ago, they're not doing anything really with that. What do you think is going on down there or over there? I guess
I think the big deal for them this offseason was extending Shai. That deal, they had to do that. He's an all-star. He's going to be great for them. But that's the deal, right? They have to start building up the pieces around him, and they just don't really have anything. They didn't really add anything this offseason too exciting. I mean, they had a pretty good draft. I like Giddey. I like Trey Mann.
I just don't know how Giddey fits with Shea Gilgeous. I don't know. I mean, like both are
they
like
need
longer
they
guards.
need a secondary playmaker type guy.
Yeah.
If you watch that team, a lot of the time Shea just gets swallowed by defenses because it's just him kind of trying to make things happen. So I like that in theory. We'll have to see how it works out. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of feels like another offseason where they're just rolling first round picks into more picks and just kind of seeing what pans out. And at some point, you know, they gotta start hitting again. I mean, they hit big on that trade to get Shea. So
like, didn't they have a chance to draft like Alperen at 16 and then they like traded out for like
I think they did. Yeah, they traded for 2.
You know, and I feel like he would have been really solid there. You know, to have seen, you know, where I just didn't get taking a chance on a guy like that and instead going for like another first round pick. And it's just like at some point you have to like, you know, actually draft these players. You can't just keep like, you know, trading back. And the Trey Mann didn't look that good in the summer league, but I don't know. Phoenix Suns get a B+. They of course bring back Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, Frank Kaminsky, and then they bring in Leonard Shamet, JaVale McGee, and Elfrid Payton. I guess Shamet is solid. They lose Torrey Craig and Javon Carter. This is a B+.
Too, just because after Sarge went down, they had no depth at all at center. So just even having anybody there.
See, like this, I'm talking. I mean, like I guess it's a B+ solely because of Chris Paul coming back.
That was a big deal for them, yeah. I mean, it was. If he didn't come back, then they might have just plunged back to where they were before.
I will make a prediction right now: they will never get back to the finals with the current team.
I think a lot of people would be with you on that prediction. I think that was a really good avenue for them to the finals.
I think it was a very luck heavy, great run for them.
Not to disparage the performances of like, you know, Booker and all that, but
like I think that they got lucky with certain guys being injured, and then after the Bucks figured them out, they just kicked their ass. But you know, it is what it is. Trailblazers get a B. They add Larry Nance, Cody Zeller, Ben McLemore. How is this guy still in the league? Tony Snell, and then they get a new coach in Chauncey Billups, and bring back Norman Powell. Norman Powell is obviously the B there probably. They lose Derrick Jones, Melo, which crazily has become an actual loss. Enes Kanter, Zach Collins was hurt his entire damn career there, and they lose Terry Stotts. I hate that they fired Terry Stotts, man. I mean, I get it, but I feel like he's a good coach. What do you think of their offseason?
This is a C+ offseason at best.
Yeah.
If I'm Lillard, I'm looking around like, all right, Nance is who we reloaded with. You know, I love Nance, man, and I think he's going to be great for them. He's the kind of player that they need there, a defensive-minded player, and he's really started to expand his range.
Do you think that they bench I almost said Danielle Marshall. Who's their power forward there that they traded for who didn't play very well?
Oh, Covington? You're not talking about Covington.
Covington. Yeah.
Okay.
He just did not pan out there. Do you think that they bench Covington for Nance and let him actually start?
I think Nance starts for sure.
For sure.
Whether that means Covington's benched or maybe moved to the 3, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, who was their 3 last year?
Man,
it wasn't Melo because he put off the bench. Was it Covington?
It might have been
because they start Lillard.
Was it Derrick Jones Jr.? Did they start him?
Maybe, dude. I think it's such a weird dynamic there. So I don't know. I mean,
I think losing Melo, like you said, surprisingly is a big deal for this team.
Yeah, I mean, like, are they that much better than the current Grizzlies? You know,
with Lillard, just because Lillard's like a bona fide.
I mean, like, Tim and CJ are great,
McCollum's still there, but I'm starting to look at the pieces around them, and I'm saying this isn't any better than any of the last 4 or 5 seasons that they've competed with.
Yeah. So. The Sacramento Kings C+. They have another really weird draft where they take Davion Mitchell after already having De'Aaron Fox, after already taking Tyrese Halliburton. They take another small guard. Okay, but he looked really great in Summer League, and I think he helped them win the title, right?
Yeah.
which I love his nickname, which is Off Night. It's great. They bring back Rashawn Holmes, who had a really great year last year. Maurice Harkless, whatever. Terrence Davis, whatever. Tristan Thompson, I don't think he's really that good anymore. Alex Lynn's not that good anymore. They lose Son Whiteside, who's just fake stats, and DeLon Wright. I don't know, man. I feel like this team just never gets there.
Yeah, man. We've mentioned it throughout the draft and everything. I'm starting to feel bad for
Kings are going to Kings. Man. Yeah,
they don't seem to know where they're going. Players aren't happy. Marvin Bagley is being weird. I don't know. The way that they handled the Healed trade situation this offseason kind of sucked. I just think they really need some positive momentum. I like what they did in the draft.
If I was them,
it'd be great. But
if I was them, I would package some kind of thing with Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Marvin Bagley for like Ben Simmons,
and just reload around Davion. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then and then at least it's De'Aaron Fox and Ben Simmons, and then
at all costs. Yeah.
I think that could be like a really, and then maybe like Holmes. I mean, at least then they have a puncher's chance at the playing game. But this current team, I just don't see it getting past like 34 wins or so.
Yeah.
San Antonio gets a D+. That might be too high. They add Doug McDermott.
Just a weird offseason, man. This is the first year where they're really going to suck. Yeah. You can call it now.
Alfred Camino. I mean, like Zach Collins is arguably they're like best grab here.
You know what's funny is I consider all the guys that they signed positive losses for all the other teams that they came from. Like all of these guys, fair. Doug McDermott sucked for the Pacers. Thaddeus Young, I like, but what was he doing for the Bulls?
He's just old, man. It's like
Zach Collins.
He's injured all the time.
Forbes,
yeah.
Josh Primo, whatever. He looked okay in summer league.
Will be like a perfect. Who was the dude for the Spurs that Gary Neal? Forbes will be like a Gary Neal type. He'll come in like and hit shots for them.
Josh Gary Neal, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah,
talk about a Grizz killer.
The old Grizz killer. Jazz get a B+, I guess, for bringing back Conley. I like that Rudy Gay and Conley are back together. That's fun.
Yeah, that's nice.
Getting Eric Pascal, I think will be really. I mean, just getting him over Derek Favors is going to be great for them. I think
it felt weird that the Warriors just let him go for nothing. Right?
I know, man. I mean, I guess it was like a cost cutting move or something, but
it was, and it was just kind of like if they were going to bring somebody on in exchange for him, then they wouldn't have room for some of the guys that they maneuvered to get in the offseason. So it made sense not to get anything for him. But it just, I don't know, for a guy that was such a key part of the rotation the last 2 years, it was a little weird.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm kind of excited for this team, man. I mean, I love Donovan Mitchell. I hate Rudy Gobert, but
I think this is a clear upgrade. Yeah,
Conley, and Gay. So I mean, I think that they'll once again have a chance at the title again. But we'll see how it goes, man. So do you think that at all the teams that we looked at, all the grades were fair or not so fair, or what?
I thought they were a little off base on certain ones. The ones that really stood out to me, I think we said the Heat at A+ was a little extreme.
A little extreme, yeah. And then there's a team that had a really bad grade that I don't know why they had a bad grade or whatever. God, who was it?
Well, the Pelicans had a D+, which I think
might fine.
Be a little harsh.
No, it's fine.
I mean, I do think they had considerably the worst offseason. It's just because of the lack of direction. The Cavs, they had a C-.
Yes. Yeah. I was very confused by that one. I did not get that one. I was like,
and then the Clippers in LA being flip-flopped was a little weird.
It was really weird. But okay, guys, that was a whole bunch of offseason talk for you. Soothe you over until another month from now when we finally come back with another video. As always,
move to my next place.
Yeah, as always, if you want our bi-weekly episodes, you should subscribe. Hopefully we will get back. But at some point we're going to do a division by division take on all the teams and what we think that their records are going to be. Basically just just a huge preseason look at every team and their rosters and stuff and our expectations. Any last words?
Just thanks for watching, guys. I enjoyed going through that list there, man. It was nice, getting to judge somebody else's work for once. So
yeah, fuck them. Yeah. All right, guys. Until next time, let's go Grizz.
Let's go Grizz.